Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video where I will be ranking the seasons of a TV show. I just did it with Godfather of Harlem not too long ago, but now it's time to do it with The Walking Dead, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Eventually, I will get around to doing this with Supernatural as well, and Charmed. There are other shows I want to cover, but I'm not finished with The Walking Dead yet. However, I'm only 3 episodes until the end of the series, so I think it's okay to go ahead and do this review, even though I haven't finished Season 11. I think it's okay to go ahead and talk about and do my ranking of where I think these seasons rank, at least to me. So, alright, let's start. Season number 11 is going to be Season 2, which I think is the weakest season. Everything that came after it, I think, was a little bit better. This season had a lack of zombies. It had a lack of there was really nothing going on this season. There was stuff going on. Like there's a whole storyline with Shane and Rick, and how there's this love triangle between Lori, because Lori's pregnant. She's pregnant with Shane's baby. Rick knows. And ultimately, this leads to Shane trying to kill Rick, but Rick kills him, and then Carl comes and kills the reanimated corpse zombie of Shane. So yeah, we got Lori's pregnancy, we got the barn full of walkers, Sophia's death. This is the farm season, Herschel, Maggie, Beth. I like this season, but I don't think it's as good as some of the ones above it. Alright, number 10 is going to be Season 7, which would probably be a lot of people's least favorite season. But there are things I like about it, and there are a lot of things I don't like about it. Every single episode, a lot of this season, is boring as shit. This was so hyped. We had the premiere, we had the episode where Negan kills Glenn and Abraham. And this season was just kind of shitty, to be honest. We do have Spencer's death, which I was happy to see. We also have Sasha's death. That was kind of sad. And at the end of this season, the battle begins. The battle between Negan and the Saviors. And you'll see later on that the next season is going to be way, way, way higher up on the list. But yeah, just that first episode is so good, and the rest of the season kind of sucks. So that's why it's my number 10. Number 9 is going to be Season 5. This is the season where at the end of Season 4 there was a cliffhanger, and Rick and all of the survivors are trapped in a train car. And the Terminus people, all of the last half of Season 4 was following the survivors as they are split up after the prison, and they are heading for Terminus because they think it's this awesome community, but it's not. They're a bunch of cannibals, and they don't really help anything. They just kind of make the world a worse place. All they do is recruit people, kill them, eat them, and then they do the same shit over again. So there's some really good stuff in this season. This is the season with Alexandria. Later on in this season, they go to Alexandria. Morgan returns at the very end of this season. Rick and the survivors get revenge on the Terminus people. Bob dies. He gets bit. Eugene lied about being a scientist. That's really all that was real noteworthy about this season. Season 3, I didn't write a lot for Season 3. I have some notes down for each season. But Season 3 was the prison season. That was the season where they found the prison. Lori's death was also this season. We were introduced to the governor, which was the villain of Season 3 and the first half of Season 4. But they didn't really go into the governor's storyline until Season 4. And I like that aspect a lot better in Season 4. Again, decent season. There was something else I forgot about. This is the season with the return of Merle. We find out that Merle did not die. He was actually saved by the governor, way back in the first season. So he dies. That was kind of sad. I liked Merle a lot. I thought he was one of my favorite characters of the show. Even though we didn't see him a lot. We only saw him in like one episode in season 1, a few episodes in season 3, and then he dies. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see a episode of that Daryl show where we get a flashback episode where we see Merle and we see his family and we get to learn what happened to them and why, how Daryl met the survivors at the camp all the way back in the first season. I would love to see something like that, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. My number 7 is going to be season 6. This season was really good. I thought it was better than my number 8 pick, season 3. The official return of Morgan. We actually get an episode that shows Morgan's backstory, kind of how he survived all this time, sort of. Now, the best part of this season is they're trying to lead a horde of walkers away. They're trying to lead them away, and that whole plan backfires, and the walkers all go into Alexandria and take over the walls. And that whole story arc was really cool. The finale with Negan's first appearance was awesome. And it leads into season 7, which, again, I gave my thoughts on that one. Not great. But yeah, season 6, really, really, really good. My number 6 is going to be season 4. This is the season where the first half of this season is the whole governor story arc where we're finishing out his story. We get his backstory episode, which is awesome. The death of the governor. He kills Herschel in episode 8. They lose the prison. The survivors split up. They go to Terminus at the very end. And then there's a cliffhanger ending where they are all trapped in a train car. Good season. Great season. There's some really, 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 really good stuff on this season. And I highly recommend it. My number 5 is going to be more recently, season 9. I've been watching The Walking Dead probably since it was in its second season. I've been a long time fan of this show. Season 9 was really good. Season 9 had Rick's final episodes, which was kind of sad to see. Well, at least he didn't die, but then after that we get a 6-year time jump. We get new survivors. The Whisperer War begins. Negan saves Judith at the end of this episode. And then the storm happens, and a bunch of people die at the hands of the Whisperers. So number 4 is going to be season 10. Now, this was the season where the Whisperer War ended. They extended it 6 episodes. I like the whole concept of this season where Carol goes and unlocks Negan's cell and makes a deal with him to basically be a Whisperer spy. So Negan, the whole, like, there's like a whole chunk of episodes where we think Negan is actually working with the Whisperers, but he's not. He's just trying to kill them so he can gain back their trust and he can be a citizen and not be in prison. So yeah, good episode or good season. Another really, really, really good episode this season ends on is the Here's Negan storyline is finally on this season. I mean, I was waiting for this episode for a long time. There were talks of doing a movie, Here's Negan, or a special, and they didn't do that. They only did one episode. It was fucking fantastic. Couple of flaws in that episode, but other than that, I mean, the only flaws are the way the story was told. I didn't really like the way the story was told, but other than that, season 10, fantastic. Really surprised that they were able to keep my attention without Rick being in the show, and they did successfully with the second half of season 9, or after episode 6 of season 9, and this season as well, and season 11. As you'll see, it's very high on my list because I love this season. Alright, season 1 is going to be my number 3. The season that started it all. Rick awakes from the coma. Rick meets Dwight and Morgan. He learns about the zombie apocalypse. And of course, they don't call them zombies in The Walking Dead. Rick reunites with his family. Andrea loses her sister, Amy. Merle is in the show for one episode, the very first or second episode, and then he is not in the show anymore until season 3. Then we learn about the virus, which is called TS19, and the CDC explosion happens. Well, before that, Rick and the group all go inside of the CDC, and they meet Dr. Jenner. Great season. Jenner whispers in Rick's ear that that whatever it is, we all have it. We're all infected. When we die, we all turn into zombies, basically. Okay, so season 6 was the shortest season. So there really isn't that much to talk about, but they were able to pack a lot in the first season, looking back on it. My number 2 is going to be the most recent season of The Walking Dead, season 11. Like I said, I love this fucking season. This season is about the Commonwealth. We did briefly see them in season 10, kind of, for a minute. I think the last episode, we saw a little bit of the Commonwealth. Not much, though. The first half of this season, the season's broke up into 3 parts. And part 1 is all about Daryl, Maggie. Daryl is a spy for these people called the Reapers, who are after Maggie's group. So that whole first half is about Daryl going after Maggie, Gabriel, Negan. They're all going after the Reapers, and they get their fucking revenge on the Reapers, and they kill them all. Second half of that season, of this season, is about the Commonwealth, not Rick, Daryl and Negan and all of them are working with the Commonwealth. They're not really Negan, but they're trying to build the community. They're trying to help out. It's working. The Commonwealth is the closest thing The Walking Dead has ever had to kind of a stable community, but at times this season they have not been stable whatsoever. Even though I have not seen the last 3 episodes, I'm on episode 21 right now, I do know what happens at the end. I do know about Rick's brief return, because of the spinoff that's coming out in February of next year with Rick and Michonne. Lance Hornsby is working for Pamela, and he just got killed last episode by Carol. And I know that Pamela Milton will be arrested. I know Rosita's going to die. I know Ezekiel becomes the governor of the Commonwealth. So I know for the most part everything else that's going to happen this season. I've been spoiled it. So that's really all I have to talk about. Except for there is one more thing that I think is really cool this season, although I wish they would have explained it better. The new variant of walkers who can now climb up things, hold things, and open doors. So I guess the walkers have actually evolved, and they can now do that, and that's really, really cool. This season is great. I love season 11. I'm just going to say right now, second best season of The Walking Dead. And like I said, I haven't even finished it yet, but I already know that I don't need to watch those last 3 episodes to know that this season is great. Alright. Also, right now, Eugene is arrested, but I know that more than likely he will go free. There is a character this season I forgot to mention. Sebastian Milton, who was the son of Pamela Milton, is killed, and it's kind of because of Eugene. They make this whole plan to sabotage and get Sebastian's lies out to the world of the Commonwealth, and they succeed in doing this. Alright, but my number 1 pick, since you already know what it's going to be, and this might piss some people off, because a lot of people hate this season, and I don't know why. There's only one episode I don't like, and it's it's episode 9 of this season, season 8. Oh, by the way, it's season 8. Season 8 is my number 1. And you're probably wondering, why is season 8 your number 1? You could have put a lot of seasons in the number 1 spot. Why'd you put season 8? I put season 8 because to me it's the most memorable season of The Walking Dead. It is the most action-packed season of The Walking Dead. It is the season of The Walking Dead with the most amount of deaths, with the most bloodshed, with the war, just everything. This season, like the first 2 episodes, just opens with nonstop action after action. Episodes 1 through 8 all take place in one day, and there's a lot going on in that day. A lot going on. During that, Carl is bitten by a walker, and the rest of the day he writes letters to everybody, including Negan, about everything. So that was crazy. There was a big fight between Negan and Rick before the end of the season. There is a feud between Simon and Negan. Negan ends up killing Simon. Just absolutely amazing. There's some fucking standout episodes for season 8 that I just absolutely adore. But the episode I don't like is season 8, episode 9, which is the episode that was Carl's last episode. And yeah, I didn't like that episode. I felt like they milked Carl's death. Carl was not a character I ever cared about. Didn't care to see him die. So that happened. Negan lives and is arrested for his crimes. I was happy about that because I didn't want him to die, and he didn't. And matter of fact, he's not dead now. He's still alive. He's still on the show. Doesn't have as much screen time as I would have liked, but he's had a couple of episodes where he's shined in season 11. But in season 8, that was just the peak. That was the best season. I remember having so many I have so many memories of just loving season 8 when it came out. And a lot of people hated this season. Scott M. Gimple was fired because of the way he did season 8 and season 7, season 8. So he was replaced. And you kind of feel that replacement later on in the series. But overall, I love this show. I do. I love this show. The only reason that I haven't talked about other shows is because they've been harder to tackle, like Supernatural. There's 15 seasons to talk about, so I didn't want to make that video yet. But this is going to be my video ranking all the seasons of The Walking Dead from worst to best. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.